So, if you've picked up one of our Advent kits, you will find that you have 4 candles in here. And today we're going to be making Advent wreaths. And you may say to yourself, but I've seen Advent candles that are pink and purple, and that's true. However, Unitarians believe in caring for our earth. And it's our 7th principle, that we're part of the interconnected web of life. And we have all these candles left over from past Christmas Eves. And rather than throwing them out, we are going to repurpose them for Advent wreaths. So our candles are white, and they work just fine. You also should have some Model Magic, and you're going to make something to hold your candles. So I'm going to divide this into 4 equal parts. I'm not measuring, I'm just approximating. I'm going to make it into a nice round shape, squish it down a little, and stick a candle in it. Voila! And that's going to keep your candles upright so there's no way that they're going to fall over, which is important because we're dealing with fire. And I'm probably going to repeat over and over again, this is fire. It can be dangerous. It's beautiful, but it can also be dangerous. So you should never have your candles unattended. You are not going to burn these candles way down to the bottom. They shouldn't come anywhere near this, actually. The best thing probably to do is you set up your wreath, maybe on your dining room table, and each Sunday night you can light the candles, maybe go around and talk about the theme of the day. So as you know, if you've been coming to First Unitarian, or if you come from another tradition, the candles usually symbolize something. There's a word that we usually say for each night. So if I have my candles here, and I have 4 candles, I'm going to arrange them like this. The first week is going to be hope. And the second week is going to be peace. And the third week, that's the one that's usually pink, is joy. And the fourth week is love. And you're making a cross when you light them. So the first week you light one, the second week you light these 2, the third week you light this one, and this one, and the last week you light all these. Okay, so we have these, and I'm just going to set these aside to dry and harden a little. Model Magic will harden overnight. But there we go. And now you want something to put them on. I'm just going to use plates. You can use real plates. These are ones that I've used for other things. So you can see this is dirty. There's no way I want to serve food on it. But for our purposes, it's great. And I'm going to cover it from the back. And the reason for that is that if I put my candles up here and I decorate, the decorations are going to be lower than where the candles are. And that's another thing that's going to help me in terms of dealing with fire. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cover my plate with aluminum foil. So, you can use a real plate. Certainly a ceramic plate is not going to catch fire. You may want to cover it anyway just to protect the plate. So there's one, and I'm going to try this one too. This is small, but I think I have enough aluminum foil to do this one. Alright. Beautiful. So, I have my 2 plates. I have this lower level, which I'm going to be putting my decorations on. And I have my candles. Now, here's one that's dried because I made it earlier. You can just pull the candle out. It should hold it. And I'm actually, in this case, going to be covering these 2. You don't have to. I just think it's an extra precaution. And that's going to help it blend in a little bit more with the plate. So there it is. There are mine. And here they are. And if you want, you can take a little bit of glue and glue them on so there's no way they can move. I might just try that. Because then I'm sure that they're not going to fall over. If you have like glue dots, that would work. Or if you want to, when you do your, if you cover your plate first, then when you make your Model Magic things, if you squish them onto the plate, you could kind of see how they stuck to the table here. They will stick to the plate too, and then you can skip this step. You'll just make them into it. Right? So there's one. It's got my 4 candles. Now, just out of curiosity, and I have no idea if this is going to work, I've got some Model Magic, and I'm going to do one for this plate. And I'm going to try, I think food coloring would work better, but I don't have any food coloring. I'm going to try a little bit of purple paint and see if this works.
Okay, so I'm going to just speed this up here, but all I'm doing is mixing in some purple paint into my Model Magic, and it's going to turn the entire clay purple. And then I will be rolling out my little holders to hold the candles. Now I'm going to try some red paint in with this last little bit, and I'm going to mix that in, and I should hopefully have a pink.
I'm going to do just what I said. If I stick it down here, I think it'll stick to the plate better. So there's my joy and my love, and here comes hope, and here comes peace. All right, so I'm just going to take my candles, I'm going to stick them in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. So that worked really well. I'm glad I tried that. So now you want to decorate your wreath. And you have two options. The first one is to use artificial stuff. So this is stuff that we happen to have at church. Most of these are things that have fallen off, you know, artificial wreath, artificial Christmas trees. And I just keep them because they're always useful.
Once again, I'm going to go warp speed here just as I decorate this little plate. You'll notice I'm not even bothering to connect anything. You could, because these mostly have wire in them, but I don't think it's necessary if you're just decorating on your table and it's not going to be moving much. So I'm adding some little fake berries. Now I have some pine cones.
Pine cones you can find. It might be a fun thing to go out and look for pine cones. You can find giant pine cones. You can find medium-sized pine cones. You can find small pine cones like I just used. You can even find little itty-bitty pine cones, which might be fun. So use what you have. It doesn't matter what kind you use. Now this one, I'm going to try it with real greens. So here's the thing about real greens. If you do this, I would not try to save them week to week. Maybe you could have it in your family that each week somebody has the responsibility to go out and find your greens and make your wreath for that Sunday so that they're fresh, because greens that have been cut off from their water source are going to dry very, very quickly. And remember, this is fire, and we don't want to burn our houses down. So I have some greens here. If you don't live in a place that has greens, and I actually don't really, we have a little pocket park where I got some of ours that belongs to our condominium. And then these bigger ones, I happened to be walking by a place that had just trimmed their bushes, and these were all over the ground. So don't go trespassing. Please don't take other people's, foliage or hedges down without permission. But I have a few things with berries. I tried to get greens of different colors, so this one's got sort of a pretty bluish color to it. There's the plain green. This is a very bright, sort of yellowish green. Looks pretty, right? But like I say, I wouldn't save this from week to week. I would do it, and then the next week, if I was going to use real stuff, I would find something else, or have somebody else in my family find something else to make it beautiful, so that I'm not keeping things that are going to be very dry around the fire. Okay, so here's that wreath. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. Maybe I'll add, I have some more holly. Maybe I'll add some more holly. That's just so lovely. Great. And there it is, my wreath. Maybe I'm going to add some pine cones to this one too. I'll just do one between each flower. Each candle. There we go. I probably should have put them in first. And that on my table would look really pretty. And then I could light my candles. And remember, I'm going to blow my candles out before they get anywhere near the bottom where the things that could catch fire are. I hope you have a wonderful Advent. I hope you try this at home. And I hope you join us on Sunday mornings for our church service when we will have Advent wreath lighting all together. Bye. Oh, one more thought. If you have very young children or cats or dogs or something, and you're nervous about using these candles that we're sending you, you can always substitute tea lights. The meaning is in the words that you say and what peace or joy or love means to you and your family. So this is a time of Advent. It's not the product, it's what's in your heart that matters.